Hey, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Richard. This is the Everything Channel. Today, we're going to talk about an issue that everybody has been talking about, this whole T.I. Jay Z situation. Now, do I think it's going to be a beef? I don't know. It could roll out to something bigger than what it is, but I don't think not. Hopefully, it don't. But the issue is T.I. made a comment about how Tupac is better than Jay Z. See, let me give y'all, for all the ones that don't know the situation, let me give y'all a little tidbit. First and foremost, if anybody know about Tupac, you already know his mom was a Black Panther. You already know that he was a poetic type person that was able to, he had, like, I remember when he was a teenager, the video service where he was talking about his poems and dreams and stuff like that. So he has the knowledge from Black Panthers, the knowledge of poetry, the knowledge of being a hood dude, the knowledge of, him tattooing the thug life and the meaning of it. You got to understand when it comes to Tupac, you know, his thing was bringing poetry, Black Panther, and hood all together. That's the reason why he was able to give you the hard hitting type of music and then giving you that knowledge type of music. You know what I'm saying? Now let's switch over to Jay Z. Now Jay Z in the beginning he was a fast rapper. If y'all don't know about it, check it out. He was that type of rapper that looked like he stepped straight out of the 80s, in New York with the big chains, the big jewelry on the hands and all that good stuff. Not like how the game is now. He didn't start rapping like laid back, slow, and all that until he got with Dame Dash and the crew to create Rockefeller. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when he started to really put the pedal on the rap game. Now, first and foremost, you got to understand this is the key word of the day. Biggie is the reason Tupac, I mean, not Tupac, sorry. Biggie is the reason Jay Z even started rapping the way he started to rap. The reason he raps the way he rap now is because of Biggie. Because before he was rapping fast, and that was just his characteristic because of him working with Jazzo. Now, yes, he was able to come out of his first album, classic in the game, Reasonable Doubt. You know what I'm saying? And build and from that single and from that whole CD, that turned into a whole lot of CDs. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it came to Jay Z, the one main factor between Jay Z and Tupac died in '96. Jay Z is still alive. With Jay Z still being alive, he was able to push out more music, do more things, broaden his horizon. See, he was in the midst of the East Coast, West Coast, but he wasn't all the way into the East Coast, West Coast. Like, yeah, Tupac did call him out, him, Mobb Deep, Nas, Biggie, because at that time, Nas, Mobb Deep, Biggie, they were the ones that was the hot at that time. Jay Z was underneath by that time Biggie, even though he wasn't with the clique, he wasn't with the crew or nothing. Let me get that right. He wasn't with the crew, but he was still with Biggie because of being in the neighborhood. So, if it wasn't for Biggie, he would probably still nowadays still rapping fast. Let's just be honest. So, now with Pac from Tupacalypse Now all the way to the and I don't even want to, cause I forgot. There's a lot of music he got. Like he's made a lot of music to the point to where even when he passed, he was still able to come out with music thanks to his mother. Now, there's still music that is closed up that probably might not never see the light of day unless his sister put it out. But he still does have music that sometimes leak out, sometimes come out. You know what I'm saying? And that's a great thing because whenever they want to release it, they have that opportunity to be like, look, we got these, and these that you can release. Now, yeah, Tupac did start with Biggie, the whole East Coast. Well, let me correct you because a lot of people think it was Tupac and Biggie that started the whole East Coast, West Coast. No, 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 no. We got to take it all the way back to the Source Award when Suge Knight opened up his fat mouth and was talking about if you basically if you want to be an artist, dancing in the videos and all that. Basically, he was talking about Puff Daddy or Diddy, as he calls himself now. Basically, that's what ignited the whole situation. Now, Pac had always talked crap about Mobb Deep, Nas, Biggie, Jay Z, but it was like more like on a playful way. It didn't ignite until Suge Knight said what he said at the Source Award, and it just bubbled into something that was like even crazier. And then the bad part about it, he said it on East Coast soil. You know what I'm saying? And Biggie and Diddy, well, Puff Daddy at the time, was there. So, this is my thing. Because I'm not going to speak no more. Excuse me. I'm not going to speak no more. Because I don't want this video to be too long. My thing is this. Jay-Z may feel the way he feel because he's still alive and he's able to make music anytime he want to. But you got to understand something. If Pac was alive, if nothing had happened to him, if nothing had happened to Biggie, I don't think it'd be a Jay-Z. And if it would be a Jay-Z, it'd be way later on. I think it would have been like, instead of Jay-Z coming out in 96, I think Jay-Z probably would have came out in 98, 99, because if Big was alive, he would probably be with Big and the record label and the whole nine. That's just my opinion. Now, do I think Jay-Z is the greatest of all time? I do, because of all the accomplishments. Do I think Tupac is the greatest of all time? I definitely do, without a doubt. Same way I feel about Biggie. But when it comes to the whole situation, when it boils down to everything, do I think Tupac is better than Jay-Z? Yes, I do. The reason I do is because I'm going to tell y'all like this. Jay-Z had one thing that a lot of people didn't realize. And it was because of the help of Biggie. Pac, he didn't have all that. His was strictly natural from being the child of a Black Panther, from being a poet, from being a hood dude, and putting all three of them together and then making something extraordinary. You know what I'm saying? See, Jay-Z, he was a fast rapper. That's just what it was. If it wasn't for Biggie telling this man, you gotta slow it down. You gotta be cool with it. Because if you think about it, and I'm just being honest, y'all, on Reasonable Doubt, the one joint with Jay-Z and Biggie, that was the first time I ever heard Jay-Z like on that laid back flow philosophy. And it was kind of like the torch being passed. And I'm just being honest. It was like Biggie was like, here's the torch. I'm giving it to you. Run with it. And that's just really what it is. The reason I feel Tupac is better than Jay-Z is because Tupac did something that most people didn't do. He knew what it was. He stayed in the studio. It's people nowadays, and he passed in 96 when I was in the ninth grade in September. He still to this day is being talked about. Still to this day selling music. You know what I'm saying? Still to this day is making a heavy impact. Jay-Z is doing the same thing. But Pac was for the kids. Pac was for women that was hurting and going through it. Pac was for the men that was out there struggling and need to handle their business. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I know Jay-Z is a great greatest of all time rapper, just like Pac. But Jay-Z, even though he been in the game since what, 96, and that's funny, 96, and it's 2019, I give him his props. But you gotta understand something. Pac is always gonna be the greatest. He's already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You're not. So at the end of the day, just chill out, Jay-Z. When you get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that's when I can say, you know what, you the greatest of all time. Shit, Biggie about to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's about to be the greatest of all time too. You still got time on the clock to still make a lot of great moves. But you can't come at a man just because he's speaking his mind. Well, it's your boy Richard. Thank each and every one that will check this out, and each and every one that is. It's your boy, and I'll let y'all later.